Hi everyone and welcome to today's video all about money myths. In today's video I'm going to go through 7 money myths that you should not believe. If you believe these money myths, then they may be holding you back in your personal finance journey or with your saving and investing goals. So be sure to stick around to hear all of them. If you want to like the video, it will really help out the channel. Thank you for liking the video. Also, if you want to see more videos from me, be sure to subscribe. You can just click the button down below the video for that as well. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Let's get into the video. Money myth number 1 is that it's not worth saving or investing a small amount. This is simply not true. If you can put any amount of money aside, then you should. It may not seem like much money now, but it can be worth a huge amount in the future, particularly if you invest it. Whether you are investing the money or saving for something like your emergency fund, what seems like a small amount now will really add up to something bigger over time. The stats really don't lie. If you want to become a millionaire in 40 years, all you need to do is invest $200 a month. If you're not able to invest $200 a month, then perhaps you can invest $100 a month, and in 40 years' time you would have $500,000. So you can see that over time compound interest works in your favour to get you a large nest egg for your retirement. Even with $50 a month invested, so a small amount that hopefully you could work your way towards, then you would be able to have $133,000 after 40 years. So you can see that by just putting away a small amount each month, you can really add up your money to a much greater amount. The most important thing here is just starting off, because although it may seem like a small amount, like I've just showed you, it really can add up over time. So the best thing to do is just get started with whichever small amount you are able to invest each month. Money myth number 2 is that retirement is just too far away to think about or plan for. Depending on how old you are, retirement may be closer or further away, but either way, the chances are that you will make it to retirement age, so you might as well prepare for it. You should start saving for retirement as soon as you possibly can. This gives you time to earn the income that you need to save, and it also gives your money time to go to work in investments. Let me give you an example to demonstrate this. So if we have 2 investors, the first investor starts investing at age 25 and the second investor starts investing at age 35. Well, the early investor will have twice as much money in their account by age 65. This just goes to show you that getting invested early is really important, and even just that 10 years, so the difference between starting investing at age 25 versus 35, it shows you just how much difference that makes over a long time period, and those 10 years of money invested early makes a huge difference to the amount that they will have invested overall. This is the power of compound interest, so basically the fact that your interest compounds over time and you earn interest on the interest. And that is what doubles the money of the early investor as compared to the later investor. So basically, if you take anything from this point, or in fact this entire video, you should invest early and you should invest often. Because the later you start, the more money you will need to invest to reach the same goal. Money myth number 3 leads on nicely from number 2, and that is that you shouldn't invest your retirement savings because it is too risky. So simply put here, if you want to grow your wealth and have a substantial retirement pot when you do come to retire, then you need to invest your money. When you save into a pension with your employer, that money will be invested, but it's also a good idea to top up this money if you can. You can do that by maxing out your employer match with your pension contributions and your employer, or you could actually invest on top of that in a stocks and shares ISA. It's a good idea for most people to also invest in a stocks and shares ISA once you've maxed out your employer match with your pension. This is because once you reach the limit on what you can invest in your pension, you may have extra money left over, or you may be able to invest a lot more than that, and this will just give you a lot more money to work with in retirement. In fact, if you do want to meet your retirement goals, the chances are that you will need to invest as well, separate from your pension. So why should you invest your retirement savings? Well, money saved in a savings account will lose buying power every year due to inflation. So that means that when you come to take your money out at some point in the future, it will be able to buy you much less. On the other hand, the stock market has a long history of growth and it returns an average of between 10 and 11% per year, which usually exceeds inflation, and it's a great way for you to grow your money using the power of compound interest. It can basically be considered as essential that you invest your money in the stock market in order to grow your retirement savings. There are many different investments that you can make, all with varying levels of risk, so you can check out what's right for you, but there's definitely something for you, and it's definitely best to invest your money. Money myth number 4 is that it's impossible to know how much you will need for retirement. Whilst it is true that the amount will be different for everyone, there is a way to find out how much you might need. It does depend on a number of things, such as the age that you're planning to retire, so this will have implications for how long you will be retired for, and also what your lifestyle will be like, so that will be thinking about how much you will want to spend. So if you have an idea of when you want to retire and how long you might be retired for, and also what you want your lifestyle to be like, how much you might want to spend each year, then you can use these things to decide how much you might need for retirement. If you're planning to retire at the average age, then you can take the amount that you want to spend each year and multiply that by 25. That will give you a rough idea of how much you should have in your pension pot, in your retirement pot, by the time you retire. If you're planning to retire early, then you may need to times the amount that you want to spend each year by 30 or even 35. This will give you an idea then of how much you will need invested before you retire in order to have a comfortable and nice retirement. So if, for example, you're planning to retire at the normal retirement age and you want to have £30,000 to spend each year in retirement, then you would need £750,000 in your retirement pot before you retire. So you can use this rule of thumb to give you a ballpark figure for the amount that you might need in your retirement pot when you come to retire. Money myth number 5 is that credit is bad. So some of us are raised with the idea that credit is bad and it should be avoided at all costs. But actually, if handled properly, credit can be really beneficial. Having a good credit score is important for many things in life, from getting approved for a mortgage or getting a phone contract. There are many things that are affected by your credit score, and therefore having a good credit score can be really beneficial. So certain types of credit can help you achieve your goals and take the steps that you want to take in life. High interest credit card and loan repayments are to be avoided, but if you get a credit card to build your credit score and you pay it off in full every month, then it can be a really good way to build your credit score, and also you might get some perks out of it if you have a particular credit card that has perks or offers. Having a credit card and using it responsibly and building your credit score can also help you get low interest debt such as mortgage. And money myth number 6 is that all searches affect your credit score. So this myth is that credit applications and searches all affect your credit score. Actually, only hard credit searches affect your score, and they will only be on your credit record for 6 months. So hard searches are credit cards, loan or mortgage applications. So these are the hard searches that could affect your credit score. Soft searches are those kinds of searches that are done when you are checking for your credit card eligibility, or you're checking your credit score. For example, if you use Money Saving Expert Credit Club, you check your credit score through them, or Clear Score. Then when you go on and you check your credit score, that's a soft search. Now, as I said, hard searches do appear on your credit report and can affect things, but this is only in the way that if you apply for too much credit in a short period of time, it may appear that you are desperate for credit. So if you are planning on making, for example, a mortgage application, then try and limit your credit card applications in the 6 months prior to this, because it can look a little bit suspicious if you've got lots of credit applications in a short space of time. This could happen if you apply for a credit card and get rejected, and then you apply for another one straight away. What you should do in that case, if you have got rejected, you can use a tool like the one I mentioned earlier on MSC Credit Club. I've got a video about this. If you use that tool, then you can check if you're eligible for lots of different cards, and it gives you a percentage chance that you'll be accepted. And that way you can have more of an idea if you're going to be accepted before you make the full application. And that way it won't affect your credit score if you do get rejected again. So basically just try to limit the amount of credit applications that you make in a short space of time if you don't want it to affect your credit score. Money myth number 7 is that a joint account doesn't affect your credit score. So with this one, because the other party is linked to you through the joint account, any unpaid debts or missed payments will affect your credit. So if one of you has a poor credit history, then it's not a good idea to open a joint account, because then you will be co-scored and your credit ratings will be linked. It's just something to be aware of when opening a joint account, that you may become responsible for someone else's debts, and if you were ever to split up with the partner, then just remember to close the accounts so that you're no longer linked together credit-wise. Those are all of the money myths that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already, and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.